The Dusk Wolves, the city breathes differently when twilight comes. Towers and alleyways, sleek glass and rusted metal all slip into shadows that stretch too long, too deep, as if the darkness itself has weight. Then, beneath flickering streetlights and neon halos, the wolves emerge. They do not howl, nor do they bare their teeth in warning. They stalk, patient and inevitable, trailing footsteps unseen. Detective Mara Ellison knows them well. She sees their shapes and reflections, feels their presence when the quiet settles in too thick around her. But tonight, they are closer pacing just beyond her vision, watching with eyes that glow ember bright. She knows why. There's blood on her hands. Not just the kind washed off in department sinks, but the kind that stains the soul, refuses to fade. She thought she'd buried it beneath good deeds, solved cases, sleepless nights. But guilt festers in the bones, and the dusk wolves do not forget. She turns a corner, boots heavy against wet pavement, pulse tightening as she catches the silhouette of a wolf poised on a fire escape above. Another steps from an alley's mouth, its form liquid dark, shifting like ink in water. The city is closing in. Mara grips the weight in her coat pocket, a revolver, though she knows bullets won't stop them. They aren't beasts of flesh and fur. They are something older, something that belongs to the space between sin and consequence. A voice echoes in her mind, not spoken aloud, but understood. Face it, confess, or be devoured. Her breath shakes. She could run, could try to disappear into the neon maze of bars and late-night diners, but the wolves would follow. They always do. And so, beneath the glow of a forgotten street lamp, she finally stops. She turns. And she speaks. The dusk wolves, and so, beneath the glow of a forgotten street lamp, Mara finally stops. She turns, and she speaks. The words come out hoarse at first, raw, unsteady, but the wolves listen. They do not move, do not blink. Shadows coil tighter around them, thickening the space between breath and silence. I did it, she confesses. The statement alone feels like an unraveling, like pulling the first thread in a tapestry woven from lies. The wolves step closer. She swallows hard, closing her eyes against the memories clawing their way forward. The case, the evidence. The decision she made in the dead of night when desperation overpowered duty. I changed the report, she continues. I knew the truth, but I buried it. Because if I didn't, someone innocent would have paid for what A breath catches in her throat. The wolves watch, their glowing eyes flickering like embers stirred in the wind. For the first time, Mara feels their presence differently, not as hunters, but as witnesses. As judges waiting for her final plea. She steps forward, just 1 inch closer to the largest wolf. It does not flinch. She looks into its eyes and understands. The dusk wolves do not kill out of malice. They do not exist to punish. They are here to measure the weight of guilt, to determine whether a soul carries enough honesty to bear its own redemption. And then, one by one, the wolves turn away. Their shadows stretch, spill into the alleyways, melt into the city itself, until only Mara remains beneath the glow of the street lamp. The air feels lighter, the silence not as suffocating. She exhales, unsteady but whole. Her secret is no longer hers alone. She is still guilty, but she is no longer hunted. The dusk wolves, I always thought shadows were just the absence of light. I was wrong. In Grayford, twilight is a dangerous hour. As the last sliver of sun dips below the rooftops, the city exhales something old, something vengeful. The shadows unfasten themselves from walls and alleys, twisting, folding, gathering into dark shapes with amber eyes and silent paws. We call them the Dusk Wolves. No one speaks of them openly. We pretend we don't see the missing posters that flutter longer than they should, or the way certain street corners seem colder when night falls, but we know. We all know. I'm Detective Mara Ellison, and tonight they're hunting me. The case that brought me here started 2 weeks ago. A banker named Rourke was found dead behind the Meridian Theater, no signs of struggle. Just claw marks, deep, clean, too precise to be human. It should have been routine, but Rourke wasn't just anyone. He was the one man who could have exposed me. Years ago, in another city, I made a deal. A crooked arrest, an innocent man framed, a career saved. I buried the truth so deep I almost forgot where I left it. Almost. Tonight, as twilight settles over Grayford, the wolves come for me. I first noticed them at the station. My shadow moves wrong, stretching when I don't, curling like smoke at my feet. Amber glints from the far corner of the office. I walk faster. By the time I reach the street, they're everywhere, padding behind lampposts, stalking through alley mouths, slipping along the cracks in the cobblestones. No one else seems to notice. Of course they don't. They hunt only those who carry guilt heavy enough to feed them. I clutch the locket in my pocket. Inside it, a photo of Jonas Merrow, the man I framed. He died in prison 5 years ago. My secret is heavier than iron, and the Dusk Wolves can smell it. I run, through Market Square, past shuttered stalls and dim lanterns. My boots echo on empty streets. Their paws make no sound, but I can feel them. Always just behind, breath warm on my neck. I duck into an old chapel. Dust motes swirl in the dim light. Even here, twilight presses through stained glass, pooling dark and violet on the worn pews. The wolves gather at the door, patient. My breath catches. I can't outrun them. I know the old stories. They don't just kill you. They peel your guilt from your soul, make you watch it. Every sin, every lie, played back in twilight hues. You dissolve under the weight of regret. Nothing left but a hollow echo. I swallow hard. There's only one way to survive. I step out of the chapel and face them. The largest wolf pats forward. Its fur ripples like ink in its eyes. They're Jonas's eyes, calm, sad, knowing. I drop to my knees. I'm sorry, I whisper. I buried you to save myself. I thought I could live with it. I was wrong. The wolf tilts its head. The others close in, circling. Their breath curls like mist. For the first time, I don't feel fear, just release. I reach into my coat and pull out the sealed envelope I've carried for 5 years. Jonas's confession, a fake, my lie. I lay it on the cobblestones. A brittle wind catches it, tearing it to scraps. I can't change what I did, I say, voice steady. But I won't run from it anymore. The wolves stop. One by one, they dissolve into mist, shadows folding back into the cracks of the city. The largest lingers, staring through me. Then it nods, a small, solemn motion, and fades. When I stand, the street is empty. They say the Dusk Wolves never leave a soul untouched. But sometimes if you face them and speak the truth, you walk away lighter. I turn toward the dawn. Grayford's skyline sharpens in the blue hour light. For the first time in years, my shadow moves only when I do.